You didn't do it, so I did it.
That's perfect. Hey.
Good evening, everybody. Oh, I thought I saw them.
Yeah, I know where they are at. We're pros. Don't try this at home.
Tommy needs his glasses. I am still 39 and holding on to my near vision. So I will be...
There we go. There you go.
Sorry, guys. I must have... Do I have my ringer off? Yeah, I have my ringer off. I have a bunch of texts I didn't see. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Colts and Crims.
We're every day.
Every day. We don't stream every day. We haven't been here for days.
No, we didn't.
Guys, it's been a long day. We went to the pool. We visited my sister all day. And it was wonderful. However, we are tired.
Even when it's really overcast, the sun is still out there.
Hey, Liz Tricks, Cooler by the Lake, Sarah Bowman, Caddy, Connie. And also, I just want to point out before the rest of you do, and I notice it. I know you're going to notice it. It is Shark Week. Hi, John Van Geest. But for whatever reason, I have zits, and I haven't had zits in a long time. And I know you guys are going to point that out, as you should. I don't. And I am going to hydrate.
I'm not sure they would have pointed that out. So what have you been up to, Quibs?
Not to be mean, they wouldn't have, but just because they know me so well, they'd be like, what's going on? You're Benjamin Buttoning it. You have acne.
But Benjamin Buttoning.
You're so young.
True.
So youthful.
That's right.
Jeannie Hansen. Thank you, mods, for being here. Hey, Miss Pie, Jamie Palmer, my sister Curious George, Keela, Reese, you are beautiful. I love you, Keela.
Thank you, Jen Nelson.
Jennifer B, Katie Fulton. You didn't notice, but you would have, Katie, because we're close friends. Hey, Donna N, Armine, Lumen's here, Squirrel Girl, Hockeytown John. Reese is reverting back to a teenager right before our eyes.
Yes, they were looking at your poofy hair. I'm gonna be right. I'm gonna go up.
So we got a new cat, and Gertie acts like she likes the cat, and then Gertie decides she doesn't like the cat. And there's not a lot you can do because Gertie doesn't listen to anyone, and she does her own thing, and she's full of sass. And there's just...
So stay away from the...
Wilma, come here, please. Come here. Gertith.
Yes, Gertith.
Gertith, come here. Come over here, please.
Believe it or not, Bo, you're not eating the litter. Please.
That was incredibly unbecoming as a lady.
Yes.
And everyone's upset with you. Everybody's upset. And you need to take a look at the world and show your face.
A little remorse would go a long way.
Oh, but it's gorgeous, and she doesn't give a holy hell. Yeah, Rain Virus is having the same issue. It is a lot of change. Hey, Goosebump.
You know what, though? To be honest, they don't really have much problems. They waited until we were live for that. That only happened maybe twice.
Notice that she doesn't care at all, and she's doubling down with her facial features.
Yeah, she's
like, I did it. I said it. Nobody cares. She's awfully little, and she thinks she's better than everybody. She thinks she's better than the rest of us.
Well, there's a little something to that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that she thinks that, not that.
I don't know why.
That's true. Just saying. So we went out and got to swim today, which was a good time. Boy, though, it knocks the you know what out of you. Does it not? Good boy, Bill.
I don't know. It made me really tired, which was sad because, see, Tommy was with Huxley doing like the butterfly and teaching him things. I was standing in a pool just chatting and eating goldfish crackers, but for some reason it really wore me out. So I'm not really sure. You have reason to feel worn out. I just ran my mouth.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's true. And you could sound like you were in the pool necking a bag of goldfish, which isn't what happened. That's a silly thing.
I got out of the
pool. There was
a
packet of goldfish this big that you ate after you got out. Like the visual image people have would be like that 5-pound bag of goldfish that you're just necking in the short
end of the pool.
And
honestly, it would be hard to eat that in a pool because the salt would stick to your wet fingers and then you'd be upset because I eat them for the salt. So you're right. I did get out of the pool and then I ate them.
And can we discuss something about public pools? Maybe don't get a mouthful of water and pretend you're a fountain.
Guys, it's a pet peeve for me. I don't like public pools because people will get a mouthful of water and then they're like, and you're like, I'm in this bathtub with you.
Yeah, but when they're going and like literally spitting it like he's a fountain, that was just a little.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. I see a The debacle. I'm sorry, I'm crying still. So we got a cat. Gertie literally took off screaming, and I was like, so the cat.
New cat.
Hi, Patty Collins. Jenny gets chatty. Yeah, it's not a public pool, though. I want to be specific. I don't get in real public pools. This is a well, it's a gated in my sister's community pool. I mean, there weren't a lot of people there. There were some children, which I sometimes have a hard time with around the children. Depends on the children. And I will say, my sister's little boy is 3. Hi, Joel Sachs.
Is that kid cute?
And he's really cute and he's really proper. And it's funny to see proper children. Like whenever you ask him a question, he will either go, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Or he'll go, no, I do not.
Would you like something to drink? No, I do not.
Like I had to pee so much today. I don't know why. I drank a lot of coffee, but I kept having to get out of the pool to pee. And I was like, I'll be right back. I have to go pee again. He was like, you're going to the bathroom to pee? And I said, yeah. Do you pee in the toilet? And he was like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. So he was really fun to chat with. Maybe that's what wore me out. Well, I don't know.
He also has this buckwheat thing that he does with certain words like ote instead of okay, which is really
so cute. Yeah,
that's pretty fun.
Yeah, and we brought something for them to eat. He was like, did you bring a Kate? I was like, yes. And oh my God, the food we brought for them, he was so funny. And then I'll stop talking about it. But I was holding it in my hands and he's 3. He's, way shorter than me. And he's looking at it and he went, he was like, that looks delicious.
He was fired up.
I was like, is this my child? That is so me. He was like, oh, he was making faces and he was like flirting with the food. He was like, delicious. He was like, that looks so good. I was like, yes,
he was pretty excited about
he was cake. Basically me.
To be sure. He was excited about the cake.
Yes, Cherish High Vibes. I got to have some family time. Hey, Lydia Krause, a running bet. Christine.
See what Phoenix Rising 44 says? Looking sexy in black. I was telling her right before she went live that I like her in black. It's a good look.
I know. Tommy's always liked me in black. Yeah, I live for now. He is so cute, huh?
John Vange's looking penub in all the wrong places. He's a fan of buckwheat. Buckwheat sings.
That's
the
cute.
Classics. Yeah.
Rebecca Mann, welcome. Deviant Outcast. He is cute though. Like he is really so cute.
And he's handsome just in general. He's really attractive.
Good
looks like a model.
Boy. Yeah. I was like, you should make money off of your children and put them in catalogs.
Yeah.
I think that scared my sister a bit.
Because maybe the way you said it.
I said it to her on Father's Day too. I was like, you should put your children in catalogs and make some money on them.
Yeah,
I haven't had a small child in a long time, so I think it's just the age difference.
And it shows.
Yeah, it shows.
Yeah,
it shows. And I've always said this: motherhood was not my strong suit. So, had I been able to make money and put my child in a catalog, I probably would have. Not just any catalog. I would have put him in a J. Crew, something classy, a LL Bean, Ralph Lauren. He would have pulled off Tommy Hilfiger.
On one side of the Starbucks and see you on the other side of the street.
Oh my God. Rain was a childhood catalog model. I could see that. Jason P. Thank you for the solar lights. I love Jason P.
Jason P. Good to see you, brother.
Glad Are you two matching? Jamie Palmer, of course, would want to know that. Not intentionally.
We did not do it intentionally.
And my chest is a little larger.
Yes.
But other than that, we're pretty similar. His nose might be a touch larger.
A touch?
And my lips are darker. But otherwise, we are hard to tell apart.
There's a hair thing too.
I forgot about the hair. Yeah. Late Night Snacks is a member, and I appreciate that so much.
Looking
and also,
good and green.
Jen Nelson gifted a membership, which is just over the moon.
Yep,
we also call those hot sauce packets.
We do.
I'm asking you all to please pray for my town. I never say this right.
Ruidoso.
New Mexico again. It's now flooding. Absolutely sending those your way, babe. Amy, I'm so sorry. That's terrible. It's very scary, honestly. I've not ever been in a flood, and I'm sorry. It's terrifying.
Yeah, they are terrifying.
It is terrifying. Jen Nelson, I wanted to share my joy. I have 2 grandbabies on the way. That's like Mary Barron's. Good for you, Jen.
Congratulations.
I'm excited for you guys having grandbabies. That will be so exciting one day for both of us.
Let's not start with that already. We have a long way to go.
Because I was awkward with the 3-year-old in the pool today. I'm probably not ready for it. Jen, thank you for your super chat and congrats. Ladybird Sue, thank you for becoming a member, babe.
No, they're more fun because you play with them and then send them home.
Thank you, Bunny Beach.
You know what I mean? They're not really your kids. You just you crank them up, you give them a bunch of soda, some candy, and then you send them home to the parents.
Oh my God. I just got my trucker hat that says I pee in pools.
That's a great hat.
I don't know that I would want it in a pool though with you. There you go. Now you can tell us apart. That's better. I like that a lot. That is Skeeter Scoville.
That's right. Cletus.
Galen, thank you for becoming a member.
Thank you. Yes, this is much easier.
Oh my God, you guys, my sister just texted me and I was like, oh, I'm busted.
No, she's not. She's curious about our lunch.
Yeah.
This is your first live Rabbit Inc. Well, welcome. I love that you're here and live. To anybody that's catching us the first time, I love that. And for all of you who are popping your head up for the first time to say hello and stop lurking, I love that too.
Sorry, guys, I had to answer her.
You don't have to lug around the car seat.
The car seat thing was a lot. Yeah. It was a lot.
Yep.
What was I going to say? There was something I wanted to say.
There's no telling.
Yeah, I really don't know.
Hey, DNV, good to see you.
Oh, I know. It was pertaining to all the different characters that you play.
Oh, goodness.
I got something I want to. Oh, you taking it off? You
yes.
Gonna switch
well,
over?
yeah. I mean, it's probably not the.
Now look, Tommy gets shot. We don't know why. The guy is chiseled by the Lord, chiseled by the gods.
Funny.
Really? Because if you saw this thing without, it's incredible. He came in once with his shirt off. And, here's the thing. This is a secret that no one knows. Reese with the eyebrows. Hi, Gamer Jackie. So as you may or may not know, well, let's read Hockey Town John first. Hey, Pink Skies.
Thank you.
Thanks for speaking up. Can't wait to see you live with Natalie, babe. She spoke very sweetly about you today, and she admitted that she fangirls out watching your videos. Wow. That's sweet.
Nice thing to say, isn't it?
That is a nice thing to say. Yes, we need to do something, she and I.
Yeah.
Is that the right grammar?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
thank you for your super chat. Do it for Rain.
Damn!
Yes, I'm looking forward to that, Hockey Town John. So Tommy, some of you may not know this, but Tommy was a male dancer.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
It was a
Did
previous.
you really go by that name?
No, I did not, but I'm not gonna. No,
Oh,
but that's the one we're gonna use.
That's the one we use. Okay.
Yeah, for that reason.
See, I didn't even know.
Yeah,
So here's
a pinch so that my head doesn't pop out.
So that you can take your shirt off?
No, I'm taking my shirt off. But there we go. See,
So Tommy was a long time ago, a male dancer. Well, you can't tell because he still stops by after work sometimes. And are his skills useful now, Jamie? That's where I'm going. Yeah, he truly was a male dancer.
No, I really did do that for a brief period of time in my life.
Yeah, and bless him for that. Because here's what happens.
No, occasionally.
It's a gift.
Occasionally,
it's a gift.
Occasionally,
okay?
I will mess around with quips occasionally.
Reese, do you have receipts for that? We sometimes. So what we named him, Julie McGuire, welcome. We named him Jake.
Like, Jake from State Farm, kind of Jake. Well, you don't ever dance under your name, right? That's everybody kind of.
You don't have you don't have to. You don't have to explain
Okay.
yourself.
All right. Well, most people
we love it.
Okay.
And what I'm trying to say is, sometimes Jake comes by on the weekends. He comes by after his shift, and Jake still has some moves. And I am Jake's top paying client.
Yeah. No, there's no. Yeah.
Whenever I go to the club.
Yeah. So.
I just throw out that Monopoly money that I bring.
Yes.
Because I don't have a real thing, but he can't seem to tell the difference. And he is a good neighbor.
That's a funny reference.
And
that's the sun, Gamer Jackie. I was in the sun today. A lot of sun.
I would pay big money to see Jake, Deanna Downey. We might consider. We'll talk about that.
Right, maybe later.
Make it rain, Reese. Bo is doing it right in front of us.
Bo, come here. Lay down.
So
lay
not
down.
bright.
Come on, lay down. Good boy. Yeah, he's not burdened by deep thought. He's a nice puppy, but he's not burdened by deep thought.
Yeah. So I get out my Monopoly money on Friday and Saturday nights, and
Bo, come here.
Jake comes by to lay the pipe.
What?
And what
God,
happened?
help us the things you say.
Why?
Right. Well, I mean, it's less of a dancing thing, and more of a
Well, it turns into that,
yeah,
doesn't
it's
it?
occasionally.
Yeah, it's okay.
From time to time.
So I am Jake's favorite client. Were you a Chippendale dancer?
No, but it's the exact same concept. It was I danced at one club, Chippendale Guys Tour.
Jake needs to give us a sample. Just a little tiny. Just show us what you did earlier.
Without getting out of the chair, it's kind of, it's a little bit more difficult without getting out of a chair.
Oh, I just got snail trails.
The guys that did like Thunder Down Under, all the Aussies who came over and did that, and the Chippendale guys, those are a review, and they go around the country, and they go from
Silver Psychic.
They go from club to club. I was a local dancer in a club in Houston, is what I was. I did not go anywhere.
He went viral is what happened, because now he stops by. So here's what happens. I get out my Monopoly dollars and Jake comes by and he does his little, and I sit in my chair, and Jake really gets the moves, and for some reason I'm doing it instead of you, but
whistle down. Do you wish you had 47 more years without knowing what that means?
Did you dance at Master Blaster?
I did not.
Reese, you're his only client. My long nails here were so many typos trying to type. This is when Tommy did his little shimmy. Amy, this is not too much information. There's no such thing. It's 2024, girl.
It's also a channel that's just kind of known for too much information. Yes, those eyebrows. Well, it's amazing that with all of the eyebrow movement, you've never worked up a wrinkle. You know what I mean? It's your go-to. Yeah, it's your go-to stuff.
Guys, I'm going to be 40 in a week. Let's do it. Serial killer. Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely.
What's Tommy's favorite song to dance to?
Oh man, I was just going to say, you really want me to do this? Back in the day, Black Velvet. That was the song.
Really?
It was.
I would have thought of Josie's on a vacation far away.
I don't ever remember.
That's what I would dance to. Wow.
Yeah.
Because we've never actually put on music.
Actually, we did once. You just don't remember.
I certainly don't. My ears were sewed up tight. I didn't hear a damn thing. My eyeballs, I had no eyelids. The first time I was like, I've never been to a strip club. I've never been to anything like that.
So that's probably a good thing.
I was just blown away, and I still am.
You know what, though? It's not a bad segue. It's really not a bad segue.
Grammy Jen, thank you for becoming a member. And look at that. I love Dawn. I'm still here. Nana has been sick, but I'm here. Hope you haven't forgotten me.
Of course not.
Dawn, I love you, girl. And no.
Quibbs forgets no one.
I don't forget anyone. Does he have gold shorts? I love you, Dawn.
I wasn't doing shorts at the time. It was more
not a Bee Gees song.
Yeah, no, but I do dig the Bee Gees. I do dig the Bee Gees.
Reese, I'll give you your first lap dance. Info dump truck. It's too late. Tommy came by and laid that pipe.
It would at least be the second.
He laid the cable. That was your gummy. Was that your gummy night? No, it wasn't actually.
No.
Reese blacked out. Michelle, okay. What year was that?
Yes, LeBaire was the name of the establishment. See, it's funny. It's all fun and games, but it happens very quickly. So I will verify LeBaire. Maybe I won't verify the year, but it was absolutely LeBaire.
Wow. Aria, I love you, girl. Thanks for your super sticker. Hey, Joe Virus.
So someone's from Houston.
Yeah, Tommy lays that fiber optic cable. I just want to say, though, it's so much fun. Hey, Boris Cruz, because sometimes I'll get a wild hair and I'll just go, where's Jake?
Wild hair. Yes, that's probably a decent way.
Yeah. And I'll say, Jake needs to come by and see me sometime. Didn't I do that last night? I was like, if Jake's not here, I don't want it.
That's exactly what she said.
Yeah. I've been to LeBaire in Dallas. Deanna Downey says.
Yep. There's
one in Dallas. Is it still there?
I have not been there in a long time, so I don't know. But there was one in Houston. There was one in Dallas. So, and you could go back and forth. I never went to Dallas. Houston was where I lived, so it made a lot more sense.
It's pretty hot, and I'm new here. Just found you, sweet tea and lemon. Welcome.
Oh, I love sweet tea with lemon.
Reese, the jazz hands.
Yes, jazz hands.
Guys,
it's not a bad reference.
If I wasn't such a chub, I would love to be a stripper. I think Because I would just do my own thing, and people would feel so sad for me, and they would just,
What's happening to that poor girl over there? She looks spastic.
yeah, for sure. But I wouldn't be.
That may have been that may have been why I made money. They may have been thinking the same thing.
I don't think so. Pretty sure that wasn't it. I'm pretty sure it was the
It was the 80s hangout. Oh, you hung out there in the 80s, did you?
pretty sure it was the
Well, I had hair. So
the snake. And I was a snake charmer.
the one in Dallas was near the strip club I worked at. Joe says Joe Virus. Yeah.
Yeah. Jazz hands and dancing, I would absolutely be all over it.
And I think you'd knock it
I'd
down.
be all over it. I'd be like totally, and people would feel sad for me. No guy will ever turn you down. They would be stupid too. You're a babe. Jamie Palmer.
I agree.
I love Jamie. I think plenty of men
I
would
agree.
and should. Honestly, it's a lot to take in. Angela Keys, hey girl. Lori Lee, I love you.
Prom for you guys dancing would be interesting. Yeah, Judy, that prom. I don't know that I'll be busting out the.
You think Jake
for the prom?
You think Jake could come to the prom for a minute?
It might be inappropriate. It might be inappropriate.
What's inappropriate?
I don't know. The way Jake dances wouldn't be probably appropriate.
Oh, really? I love it. I love it when you do this.
Yeah.
It's not my dance when I strip, but I can really appreciate it.
Well, someone said you didn't finish your sentence.
I like it when Jake Hungus stops by.
Yes. Never get back on the farm. No, we didn't wear gold shorts or short things. It was more of a
Go on. What was it?
The banana hammock.
Okay. I like that a lot too. Reese, what is your dance? I don't really hey Sierra Terry. You know, Leandra, it's just a lot of shimmying. It's a lot of shimmying, and then you do a lot of this.
Info dump truck. Pour some sugar on me. Yeah, that's another one I could probably go without ever hearing ever again. Yes, G strings were the
one word helicopter.
G strings were the order of the day, and you have been to these, haven't you? One word helicopter. That's right. Yep.
And I don't know what to do with it, Monica's mom.
Pillsbury boy.
I've never dated anybody that's cut and ripped and chiseled and lays the pipe like that. I've never. It's a first for me. So every time Tommy takes his shirt off, I'm like, it's unbelievable.
You don't still do that.
Really?
Yes.
You don't want to show like just a little bit?
No, we're good.
I like to.
No, I never worked at a completely nude establishment.
How do they keep the sock on? That is a good question.
Well, I didn't do.
Does it go up your butt?
No. It's not a sock. Yeah, it goes up. You mean, is there something that goes up? Absolutely. It's like a G-string, but it's not a sock. It's just it's a banana hammock. It's awful. If I actually told you how it worked, you'd be disgusted. So, but
wow, I've never seen the banana hammock. I'm lucky enough to just see the pipe. Teacher nurse, y'all should have a sign. Reese leaves a poker card with pick side up. Tommy knows I got to handle this. And
what makes you think we haven't worked that out?
I don't. I'm not that subtle either. Like usually, I'm just like, bring Jake in here. I've got Monopoly money to toss around. Baby elephant whipping that trunk around. Anita.
Katie Fulton's been to LeBaire. She has to. She's spitting out the tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the lineup, I think.
But I've never seen anything so perfect. Tommy is like he has a perfect body.
No, that's silly.
No, it's not. I mean, you really work on your body. You should. Yeah. Tommy does yoga. He gets up at 4 a.m. every day and does like 1,000 push-ups and yoga. And, I sleep in fairly late, and Tommy tried to wake me up this morning.
Oh, it's the cutest thing in the world. We had to get up early this morning, and I was like, babe, it's time to get up. And she did this thing that was so reminiscent of someone 3. It was I don't want to. It was a little pouty.
I don't remember that. I just remember saying, no.
Yeah, well, there was that too. And I said, why not? You said, I don't want to. I said, you got to get up.
And then I said, my eyelids don't work.
You did say your eyelids don't work.
They were shut again, like the time I ate that gummy. Hi, Gypsy Soul.
And for the record, no, that's never happened again, because somebody emailed me and said, "Are you guys still eating?" We know that was a one-time deal.
Do they use clips on your pubes? What?
No, you mean for the? I never did the sock. I always wore a G-string. Judy Lee, God help us, I hope not. Yeah, I don't need a lifeboat G-string, but I do appreciate the thought. The merkin, that's always good for a laugh. The toupee for your nether regions.
Reese, you sound like me. Hubs calls me an angry drunk toddler when I wake up. No balance, so I stagger around and I'm mad because I'm up.
That's really funny, actually. An angry drunk toddler. I get the visual image. It's a good one.
Yeah, I don't have a type. Reese has had 3 totally different types in physics of husbands. I don't have a type.
Boy, I do.
You do.
I really do.
Yeah, you do.
I have a tattoo of a girl on my side that everybody could absolutely think was Quibs.
Yeah, my sister at the pool today was like, yeah, that looks like Reese.
It looks like I got Reese tattooed on my side. Aww. I would have removed it, but it looks so much like Reese. There's no reason to.
I love you, Jason P. Thank you.
Jason's a great dude.
Him. Yeah, I don't have a type, but Tommy has a type. Yeah, that looks just like me. It's weird.
It really does look a lot like you.
It does look a lot like me. It's odd.
Gypsy Soul, boy, you know what? I wish I had $1 for every time somebody said, boy, did I pick a weird time to come into this chat, right?
It happens every time.
But this is about the witching hour. We're at about 26 minutes in. This is usually the time we get somewhat serious. And by that, I mean, this is when we at least start to joke about a specific subject.
Absolutely.
We don't necessarily get serious, although we might today.
I liked that movie, actually. It had Tom Cruise, but I thought it was really funny. It was like a spoof, Rock of Ages.
Oh, yeah.
And then Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
It was Paul Giamatti was in that.
Yep.
A running bet. Thank you for becoming a member, my friend.
Welcome.
Can we see it? I knew people were going to ask to see it.
I'll take a picture. Well, if I could show it to them.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, maybe you could take off your whole shirt. Doesn't that look like me in like a lot of ways? It's not exact, but
well, if I was the same size as I was when I got it, you know what I mean? That let's say her face lost quite a bit of weight as you know what I mean? When I was bigger, her face looked more like what it is. And as I get thinner, so does her face.
Yeah, it's super similar. It's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You were going to have that removed.
Right. Or just put
something over it. That's right.
I was going to put something mean
on it. It does look like me. Tommy has a 6-pack. Oh, you should see what's going on below that.
I do have a 6-pack. Or at least, I mean, maybe like, I think when you get to my age, you get a 4-pack and then some wrinkles.
I don't think so.
It's kind of what happens. You get a 4-pack.
I might. Baby
yes.
steps.
No, you're right. She probably would. But I've said this many times, and I am a very facial, like I fall in love with people's faces. I am a face guy, and I definitely have a look that I tend to go with. For instance, I would call that a button nose.
I would call it a very bulbous, round ass beak.
Well, it's not. And they tend to have, that's a recurring theme, noses that look a lot like yours, blonde hair. There's a recurring theme to a lot of, I definitely have a type. I always have.
Is she a generic girl or someone in particular?
Well, at this point, let's call her generic. At one point, she was not.
Someone in particular. Yeah.
I was married to the woman who was on my side.
But it is weird. Like Tommy clearly has a type because you could look at that and you would think it was me. Like you would think he would not a tattoo of me.
Yeah, you would think maybe the tattoo artist didn't nail it, but that's definitely.
Yeah, totally. It does look like a portrait. Thank you, Lori Lee. Maisie Shiloh, thank you for becoming a member. That
looking
was so
good
nice.
in green.
Thank you, Maisie.
Looking good in green. So, you know what?
How old is that tattoo, Joel says?
I got it in 2010. 2011, right in there.
Wow, it looks good.
Yeah.
Did you get that in prison?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah, that was done in prison.
Riley's human. I'm really sorry. Please give Bo a kiss on the nose for me. I lost a grand dog today.
Riley's human. I am so sorry.
That never gets easy, babe.
No, it doesn't. Thoughts and prayers for you.
I'm sorry, Riley's human. I love you.
And when people say, I lost a fur baby or a fur family, to me, man, the fur doesn't make it. Yeah, it's the same thing. I get so attached to animals.
Still a loss.
It is such a
huge
loss. It's unconditional love. Most people are at least asses a lot of the time, but animals just love you unconditionally. I'm so sorry.
Kim, thank you for becoming a member. And Gypsy Soul, this is my tip for the Peep Show. Thank you, Gypsy Soul. Thank you, Katie Did.
Didn't even have to pull out the G string.
Hey, Susie Bratt. Yeah.
Now, I will tell you
Sharon.
this. I'll tell you this because we discussed this actually. This is not the first time we've brought this up. It's the first time we talked about the fact that I danced for Reese. But but it's not the first time that we brought up the fact that I danced. And
I know that, April, for sure. Go on.
And it's, people would say, what are the women like? And if it's like an average Friday night or whatever, it's not that big a deal. But like if they had parties where there were a bunch of, like a bachelorette party or whatever, the women turned into animals. I'm not being funny at all. It gets really, really, and it's not even one of the better tats
that Tommy's almost all of his tats are from the
like
prison.
I got this done in prison, and if you
it's
look
incredible.
The work that the guy did on this is pretty incredible. I mean, there are some really, really good tattoo artists in there, and there are some garbage ones.
Thank you, Cece.
If guys, a lot of times kids come in who are really young and they just go, I want a sleeve, and the guy will say, what do you want on it? I don't care. You know what I mean? Just kind of do your thing. And they just want to look like a convict. And that really wasn't my thing. I really have an Alice in Wonderland kind of fetish. Caroline in the moment says, didn't like the atmosphere in those clubs. It's pretty creepy. I'm not going to lie to you. It's pretty creepy. The vast majority of guys that I knew who did it switched over to dancing at gay clubs. And it's there's no contact. They just sort of have them in a little circle with a velvet rope around it, and people throw money into it. But they do it because those guys are far more respectful. There aren't people, trying to grope you. And
I don't think I have a Kentucky waterfall. It's like mullety in the front.
Damn.
That would fit.
Damn.
Riley's human. You're very welcome. You didn't have to super chat though.
And you know what? I worked a bachelorette party on more than one occasion. And after the second one, I'm telling you, you may not believe this, but you could have offered me a Mercedes-Benz, to drive home with, and I would not have done another one.
Yeah, he's told me some really awful stories.
It's just, it gets really, it gets disgusting. But this kind of, one of the reasons that this came up and that we were talking about it is because, you have been pretty open about, I don't know if you guys caught what you did yesterday. I'm being facetious because everybody here obviously caught what you did
Not
yesterday.
Everybody, not necessarily. Not everybody here watches my
numbers,
channel.
Man, had pretty good numbers.
I guarantee you, not everybody here goes to my channel, and just like not everybody on my channel comes here. I love you, Shelly Kelly, and thank you for being a member. I love you, girl. Yeah, it actually ties in with what I've been talking about on my channel, guys. The jester stuff. This kind of stuff is really triggering for me. Just the like doing stuff that's very see, stripping is not trashy to me as far as like beneath somebody. It's all on the up and up as long as it's on the up and up. Right. I feel like strippers are people just like everybody else. They're not beneath anybody else. They're making money doing what they do. But what I get grossed out about on the side of stripping and all those it's actually the men, or when it switches over into something illegal. But also just, I feel bad for the women who strip, because I'm sure the men are disgusting. Like not all. I'm sure there are some respectful men, but I don't like the feeling that it gives off when she has to go do that. And like guys probably treat them like objects. And I don't like that. And so this has to do with the jester stuff. It triggers me because I was involved in that for so long. And Tommy and I wanted to touch on that a little bit. I'm mainly going to do that stuff on my channel. Here's what we talked about today, because Tommy's a huge part of this jester story. He was with me through it. He knows all the details. And obviously, as my partner in love and life, he's there for me through it. And I cry about it, and I get upset, and I've had moments of rage, and I go through all the range of emotions when it comes to that, because I'm just coming out of it, and I had to suppress it and hide it for so long. Nobody knew about it. It was going on in my head. And then I had a partner who was going, "You're a nutcase. You're crazy." So it was really hard for me. So we talked about this today, Tommy and I'm going to continue to release things on my channel, like details and facts and just things that I went through. But on this channel, we want to talk about, that's why we titled it The Emotional Blow. So Tommy he's such a pro. This is such his wheelhouse when it comes to, I love, first of all, I just have to say this. I love how Tommy is with women. He is so perfect for all of womankind because
no, I appreciate it.
I want to get this out because he's got the biggest heart. And I've always said that. And he listens so well. He's a Cancer sign. Cancer men are amazing. And but he's the best I've met. He listens to what I have to say. He absorbs it. He doesn't just react right away. He absorbs it. And then he gives me his thought process. We break it down. He doesn't tell me what I'm doing. He doesn't tell me what I'm thinking. He just says, wow. Okay, so here's what I see there. And then he helps me work through it. Yes, he's so respectful and he's so loving, but it's not just with me. I just happen to be the lucky one that gets to be around that every day and be a part of his life. But he also shares that with all of you. He shares that all the time when somebody pipes up and says, I lost this, or, my son's going through this addiction. Like, he's so helpful. Well, imagine what that's like being off camera with him and being able to coexist. It's a gift. It's a huge gift. And let me get rid of this troll. I'm sure the mods already did, but so I had to get that out. But that aside, Tommy and I decided that on this channel, we want to talk about it, but we want to talk about the effects of it as it affected me as a woman. But also we were thinking there's probably a lot of women watching this, or men, that are going through something maybe similar, maybe not, but can kind of resonate or relate to it. And we thought that would be really therapeutic and helpful, because it is for me.
Well, and you know what else? It gives us an opportunity to talk about some things. I know a lot of people are super concerned, and a lot of people continue to say, boy, don't talk about this or this or that. Here's something I think everybody seems to be missing the picture on, with all due respect, at least that element. And by the way, I'm not talking to any of you who reached out to me who said I'm concerned, because if you were a jerk about it, I let you know exactly how I feel. So if you got a nice email from me, I'm not talking to you. The people I'm talking to got pretty ugly emails. I understand that people care. What I don't think you understand is what we're asking, right, for Reese to do is to take all of the trauma in her life and bury it, right? Which is exactly what her ex was doing. It's that gaslighting stuff of, yeah, that may exist, but we're not going to talk about it. We're going to pretend it didn't happen, and Viktor Frankl, I think, was the one that said, for evil to prosper, good men need to do nothing. And there's been a lot of people who have been through this who just said, well, I'm not going to put my neck out. Well, I'm not going to put my neck out. It's easy to say that the girls that are there, well, they know what they're getting into. I've never met people in that line of work that were happy in that line of work. Now, I know that there are people who are going to say, I did it. I'm just telling you, in my personal experience, everybody I ever met that sold themselves were on drugs. They had to do unbelievable amounts of dope so that they could deal with the fact that they objectify themselves as a way to pay the rent. And that, I don't mean dancing. I'm talking about somebody that sells themselves and pretends to love someone for an hour for an exchange of money. That's pretty effed up stuff. And I think that, for people to go, hey, don't talk about this. I don't care what your trauma was, but you need to deal with it the way I think it's responsible for you to deal with it. I think that steps over a boundary. We are not parasocial relationships like a lot of channels. That's why Reese spends 40 minutes doing roll call, because she knows all of you. And we end up really feeling like friends. But when you suggest that somebody doesn't work through something the way that they think they need to, I think you might be dancing on a boundary issue. You know what I mean? I think it's important for you to work through this stuff. And I think it's important for you to work through this the way that you feel like you should. And the fact that people are continuing to be victimized, there's something called the Mann Act, right? You can look it up. But if you provide transportation to somebody and bring them across a state line for what they're doing, that's a felony, right? These people are being trafficked. They're a product, and that's jacked up. And there are receipts here that prove it.
And Silver Psychic says, what's bothered me is how little that's on the internet about it. You're not going to find much. They have done a very good job of keeping this a super secret. And I have around 400 pieces of private, very personal evidence against them that's super illegal.
You have thousands of pieces.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I'm talking about...
But there's 400 pieces that are really damning. but there's
That's
a
true.
lot.
You're right.
Of
I have
stuff.
thousands of actual, like what he's saying is, guys, like the books and stuff, like the actual things. Yeah, no, I have thousands of that, thousands and thousands of boxes of stuff of that. But
John Van Geest is right, by the way. Sorry.
That's how they arrested the boxer Jack Johnson. His charges were BS. And I like what Rain said. When I thought about it, I thought would we tell a grape victim to keep her mouth shut? No.
And one of the reasons that you're not
Thank
seeing,
you, Rain.
Yeah, one of the reasons you don't see tons of this stuff online is because the number of women who have been married to guys that did this, who did not feel like they could come out and talk about it. The internet has a beautiful way of disinfecting crap, because all of a sudden, once the entire world knows what's up, if someone tries to set you up, if someone tries to do something, if these people try to take some kind of an action, well, the light is shined on it, isn't it? Right. And people start wanting to know, well, who's making what wave? Are these people involved in this stuff? And that's the disinfectant. And if everybody has the attitude of, well, I'm not going to put my neck out, or I'm not going to risk this, or I'm not going to risk that, or if they listen to people who say you shouldn't do that, right? Well, then people continue to be victimized.
That is so true and profound, babe. But the other thing is, I'm pretty sure I'm one of the only wives that had kept all the receipts. It's my style to do digging, and get every piece of evidence and proof that I can find along the way. And I don't know how many other people did that, because Jeff said to me many times, he would get real creepy and condescending. And he would go, do you think you're the first wife that's found out about this stuff? Do you think they weren't silenced? Do you think you're actually going to come against this organization and make any kind of a dent? You're not.
And then in the next sentence, act like none of that ever happened and that you're insane for even bringing it up.
Yes. And then in the next sentence, he would go, anyway, it doesn't matter because everything you have is false and you're nuts, and nobody would believe you. So, yeah, I mean, it was torture. It was absolute torture. And they are very full of themselves, Info Dump Truck. They are very confident. They recruit people who are very I've never seen people as egotistical as Jeff before. And they're all a bunch of Jeffs. They're all like that, just very sure of themselves. And they look at women as objects, and they use women as objects.
No question.
And they are doing this the whole time. And the women are just running after it. And I'm told these women make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year doing what they do. And, Tommy has a bigger heart for that side of it, because he has experienced, witnessed, been around that side of it and seen what it does to people. And I have sympathy and empathy for that. But the things I've seen, for instance, I'll just give you a tiny little tidbit. I once said to Jeff, this is ruining our marriage. This is ruining marriages. You are breaking up marriages. And Jeff said that all these women that are there always say, we're saving your marriage. We're saving your marriage by having sex with you and performing oral and having oral parties and doing all these things, because then you go home a happy man to your wife. So I don't look at this and go, but these poor women. No, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm much colder about it, but I also lived through it for years and got very bitter, very bitter.
And I understand that. I honestly, I mean, how would you not get bitter? Truthfully. How is this not something that would cause it? But I think it's important that, and here's something else, and I'm not going to make any friends. and you know what? Honestly, I don't care. But I have a YouTube channel, right? You guys may be shocked, except for the iguana obviously knows, because he'd like to know how much I make on that channel. But I have another channel, right? It's got about 20,000 subs on it. And the Lifeboat. And I talk about, this is kind of more in my wheelhouse of the kind of stuff that I talk about. I talk about cult stuff. I talk about true crime stuff. And I will talk about a human being if they're crashing and burning, if it pertains to drugs or alcohol. I don't usually talk about people as much as, however, I wouldn't want you on my channel to talk about this, because I don't feel like, I'm blown away at the number of people who would love to tell your story. You have a YouTube channel. I think you should this is my opinion, but I think you tell the story yourself. I think that this is something that I wouldn't want to interview you about this, because I don't think I don't think I would be comfortable trying to pull things out of you. I think that the stuff should come out of you at the rate that it comes out. I don't think I should be asking questions to steer anything. And I've thought about this ad nauseum. You got any idea what it would do for the views on my channel? I mean, obviously from a business standpoint, it would be the greatest thing ever, but I don't want to start manipulating how you use this as therapy. This isn't a friggin' story, right? This is therapy. And you know what? I mean it though. The first cult that you were in was a really, and I read a comment about this today that I thought was so wildly astute and that I couldn't find it, but it talked about how the first cult that you were in, they use sex as a way to make people feel guilty or to make people feel something as they got them on the can so that they can control them. And the second situation that you got into, they use cash as a way to be able to control sex, right? And it's a completely different concept, but had it not been for both of these experiences, you're a warrior today. Right? As shitty as those two situations were, and they are horrible, they also shaped you into what you are today. And if it wasn't for that first one, I don't think you would have been tough enough to not only survive the second one, but go, I'm getting this. I'm getting receipts. I'm going into computers. When I leave this, I'm not going to be quiet. When I leave this, I'm not going to be one more of those wives that go, okay, go do what you do. And I'll chew my fingernails till they bleed while you're off. And I'll tell you something. I watched her while he was off at one of these things, and their marriage was over, right? Painfully over. In fact, by that point, you were divorced. It still was killing her because the concept of what these people do to every wife that they have, these pillars of the friggin' community, right? But in my opinion, I wouldn't want to have anything to do with the interview of this. And I know this is YouTube, right? This is going to be a rash and everybody in the world is going to go, views. But I don't think this is a story like that. And maybe I'm out of line for saying that. I don't know. But I wouldn't want it. I think I'd like to do it here because we're talking about how this affects you. And that's something that I'm super comfortable talking about. But I think you let out what you let out at the speed you feel comfortable doing it. And if you start doing this in other places, that's not going to happen. There are going to be people who ask you questions and you're going to start getting, and I hate to use the word, it's going to make me even less popular, but you're going to get manipulated into saying things that you may not be ready to divulge. People, this isn't something that she found out 2 days ago. You feel me? She's had a YouTube channel for a long time and she's hinted at this. Everyone's heard her hint at this, but she's getting to the point where she's ready to start sharing it. I think that you better do it at the rate that you feel comfortable at. And I think maybe you ought to do it on your channel where you can control it. And if that makes me shitty, but I saw so many people who went, oh, you'd be perfect on this channel. Oh, you should let this person tell your story. Oh, it would be great if you did. When this story is saturated and you've told everything in the world, then go on a promotion tour if that's what you want to do. But I feel like this is about you healing, and you should do that how you feel like you should heal. Don't feel pressured into doing it somewhere else, or I don't know. That's my opinion, man. That's my opinion. And if I'm being a dick to other creators, I'm truly not trying to be, I'm not trying to be a dick to other creators, but I didn't invite you on the lifeboat. Did you find that odd? I don't want to tell this story. I don't think it's anybody's story to tell, and boy, it'd be fun to. You got no idea. And I could probably lend to it. I'm blown away at the things that I saw that I was there to love. I spent the month there, 5 weeks there. It's pretty creepy shit. And he was hot to trot to tell me all about it. Honest to God, I was there 45 freaking minutes. And he said, I'm part of this kind of, this very exclusive, you would have thought he was talking about, some, those first class clubs at the airport. He was describing it like the regular folk live down there in but we're up here, the exalted. And it's disgusting. It really is. It's disgusting.
What did he share with you? Jeff shared that he was a part of the Jesters. I was inside a store, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you went into a dress store for 10 minutes.
I said it was going to be 10 minutes.
And it was about an hour and a half. But I sat and you got to understand that I'm not super comfortable, right? I already know what the story is. This isn't the first time I've heard it. I talked to her so much about this. I know everything. But he mentioned that. And he said, and he was
didn't
lamenting.
Say the Jesters.
No.
He said, I'm a part of a highly secretive group.
Correct.
Yeah.
He also, though, mentioned when we were in the car, he mentioned that, he had done something that, his wife couldn't get over and all. He doesn't participate and blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. I'm a dope fiend, right? I was a heroin addict. And I assure you, I couldn't walk into a party with 700 people shooting dope, right? I just wouldn't be at that party. If you're not participating in something like that, not only wouldn't you be there, but the fellas don't like people hanging out who are watching. It tends to make them nervous. So I don't buy into any of that, but that's not my business either. It really isn't.
But he did bring it up to you and said something like Reese found out about
correct
one of the parts of my group, right? Or something like that.
She found out about things that I did. It was all this in the past stuff. It was stuff that he had done in the past. And it was ridiculous to think that ever could have happened again. Well, why? Your cult quit doing this? That's not what you guys are doing every other friggin' weekend or whatever you're doing. I mean, it's these events are going on around the country every single day, right? So, but I don't want to be a part of telling the story. I'd love to be a part of supporting you through it, but I think I would be very guarded. It's my opinion. You do it, and I'm not telling you to do it. You do whatever you want. If you feel like you should be going on other people's channels, just be very careful that somebody doesn't steer this in a direction that is going to benefit them, because this isn't about views. If it was, boy, oh boy, you could do it better. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but if this was about views, there's a great way to roll it out and there's a build up. And I don't think that's what this is. I never got that vibe. I think this is about healing, and it's a much better thing that if you do it in your speed and your time and in your format. But that's just my opinion.
And I appreciate that. And I love it because I think you're right. Did he seriously try to impress the actual Crim with his wild side?
Yeah. I don't know if that's where it was going. Look, I've told this, full disclosure. I started out doing Freemason stuff at one time. I never got into any other organization. And I went to 4 or 5 gatherings where we drank abusively. Like, people drank like it was college, and guys acted pretty stupid. Look, if you know me, I talk about robbing banks. I talk about everything I've ever done. There were no chicks or anything like that any place I went. But I didn't get invited to anything else, and I didn't get past the 6th degree. So I don't know that I saw a lot of it, but I think he thought maybe there was some camaraderie there because at one time I was a Mason. Masons also kick felons out. And I've been a felon a long time.
Yeah. Friendly reminder for Jeff, if he's watching, that he's gross and no one actually likes him. That was just one other thing I want to say that, Reese, I agree with Tommy. The idea that you were being traumatized by 2 cults is astounding. Can you please clarify something, though? Was Fred a jester? He was. Fred was a jester. I didn't know what the jesters were. And Fred had been out of the jesters for a very long time by the time I met him. I can't speak to what Fred did as a jester, but I know that when I came along, Fred was not involved. And I believed at that point, I asked him about what was it? And he just it was kind of like when you guys asked me yesterday what I told Fred about Scientology. Hardly nothing. It never really came up. It was the same thing with the jesters with Fred. I had no idea what it was. He never talked about it. And when it was brought up, I was like, oh, it's some club that he's a part of as a Mason. He never went to anything. And his jester friends would call him up and say, hey, come to this, come to that. Let's do this. And I didn't know. And I would say, hey, do you want me to go with you to that? Or do you want me to take you to that? And he would always say, nope, nope, nope. I would rather be with you. That's what Fred said to me all the time. I would rather be with you. He never participated in anything. Now, Fred has since passed away, and I still have a lot of love and communication with that man. But it is an unsettled subject for me with him. It is something that I feel rattled about. And I tell him that I wish that we could have had a conversation, that I hate the jesters, and that I hate that he was a part of it. And I tell that to Fred a lot. And I don't know if he was a part of the sketchy stuff. I don't have a read on it, whether he was or not, because by the time I was with Fred, he had been there and done all of that. So I don't know. And
yet, too, because I know how all of you feel. By the way, Third Eye Open, great comment. I know how all of you feel because I felt the exact same way when I heard that Fred had been a jester. It was a really difficult thing for me to wrap my brain around because I'll be honest, this guy is almost angelic in your eyes, and that's a tough thing. But I want to tell you something. Just if we're going to be right? Full disclosure stuff. If you guys had met me in my 20s, my 30s, or my 40s, you would not have wanted anything to do with me unless you were really dangerous or stupid. So people can change in ways that you can't imagine. Now, I think that this is one of those organizations that's hard to step away from. I don't mean you couldn't stop going to the funky stuff, but I have a feeling that when you are at these parties where all of this disgusting stuff is going on, you kind of give up part of yourself, don't you? I mean, now there's kind of dirt on you. And I think that in most of these kind of fraternal organizations, the threat of being exposed for the fact that you're not what the world thinks you are keeps a lot of people at least being friendly. But for a fact, the guy stepped away. And for the fact, anytime somebody came up to you, he was ready to blow an O-ring. And I think that speaks volumes to the fact that whatever was going on, he's probably not the cat that he was at that time.
Fred chose Reese, Debbie, and Tommy is absolutely right. He did not associate with those guys when I came along. I never met Jeff, and Fred and Jeff were jester friends for a very, very long time. I never met the guy. When Fred was in the hospital repeatedly or in rehabs, nobody came to visit. None of those jesters came out. His brothers, none of them came. But I'll tell you, I've said this before and I'll keep it fast. I went to a party after Fred and I got married, a jester party at a jester's home. It was a private party. And the guy was best friends with Fred, and he was a high up jester, and he was mixing drinks behind his counter. And he was like in his 70s. He wasn't as old as Fred. And Fred said, "Did you see Mrs. Harley here that we got married?" And the guy was shaking the drink, and he went, yeah, I know. And he said, "Then show her the respect she deserves, damn it." He was mad. And the guy went, "Congratulations." And Fred was so mad. I would say we were there another 5 minutes, and he was holding on to me like this, and he went, "We're leaving." And he jerked my arm so hard. And I said, "What?" Like, these were his longtime 50-year friends. And we got to the door, and he was growling. His voice was growling. He said, "We're leaving." And I kept pulling him back. And I said, "Fred, no, we don't have to leave. Like, I'm not offended. It's okay." And he said, "We're leaving." And I said, "But they're your friends." And he said, "I'll get new friends." And that was it. He never talked to those guys again. Never spoke to him again. And on the whole ride home, he hardly talked. He drove all the way home to our house. It was quite a drive. And he was just, you could tell he was just thinking, and he was gritting his teeth. And he goes, "Nobody's going to treat you that way." And I said, "But you've been friends with these guys for like a half a century, man." And he was like, "I don't care. I don't care." I mean, he was team us. It was like he separated that and was like, this is mine, and nobody's going to treat her that way. So I hold on to that because I think about Jeff, and I think about all the times that the men grabbed me in front of him, touched me. This guy just didn't say congratulations, and Fred was like, "I'm done." These guys were groping me, grabbing me, touching me, putting their mouths on my ear to say disgusting things. Jeff was absolutely embracing that. He was encouraging that. He did not put a stop to it. I cried once to him, and I said, "That man just grabbed my butt." And he was like, "Oh, I didn't see it. Sorry. Things happen. These are my friends." So that's how, in my mind, in my moral self, like how I weigh it, because I really struggle with the fact that Fred is passed on. I don't want to say gone. He's not gone, but he's passed on. And I truly believe that Fred made his amends with that. I think he made his peace with that in life when he was alive with me. I think that he chose me and left that behind. And it speaks volumes. Jeff, I told you guys a week before I left forever and never saw him again, I cried to Jeff and I said, "If you would have quit this, if you would have left this for me, if you would have picked me, I would have stayed with you." And he laughed and he said, "Bullshit. You wouldn't have done shit." And he just put it all back on me. Fred never treated me that way.
And I think this kind of brings up a decent point too. Nobody here knows who or what Fred was when he was in the Jesters, right? Nobody. But
nobody what?
Knows what Fred was like, or right. We have no idea.
I can't speak to it.
But we know what he was like at the end, right? So before we nail the big dude to the tree, you said something the other day I thought was genius. I think we should hate what he does. I think we should hate what all of those people are doing. But hating him personally,
not who he is.
I gotta believe, because it's the basis of everything I do on my other channel. I gotta believe he can be Fred by the end. I gotta believe that cat could walk away from all of this and go, "What am I doing?" I truthfully believe that that's in every man, and if I didn't, I would be in the wrong line of work.
Yeah.
So maybe we hate what they do instead of hating
who they are, not what they are. What they are, not who they are.
Yeah, what they're doing,
what they stand for, not who they are as a human being. But
it gets real easy to start hating, and it just doesn't. I understand how easy it is to hate what these people are doing, but when we begin to hate the people personally, this is going to sound like such a cliche, or that I'm on a high horse, and I'm not. I'm an ex-convict, but you start to get on the same level as them, right? That those emotions, whether it's a disrespect for women or it's a hate for others, none of those emotions are cool. And what they do is it's a cancer that eats you. It doesn't hurt the other people.
That's right.
I think hating the gestures is just great.
And I like Lisa from Jersey here saying Fred chose reason that speaks volumes to that brotherhood. And it does. And here's another reason why. I think they hated. Jeff told me that a lot, that I took Fred away from that. I didn't. Fred chose all on his own. I didn't even know what it was. It's not like I was sitting here going, I don't want you to go to that. I didn't even know what that was. I didn't care. And I said, go with your buddies, go with your friends. I didn't even know what it was. And, but they also were extremely jealous, I guess, of Fred. This is according to Jeff, that they were lining up waiting for Fred to die so that they could take over. And Jeff did. Jeff hit on me and asked me out at Fred's funeral. I had never met Jeff in my life. That was the first time I met him in person at Fred's funeral. And I just want to say, too, that Fred was married to the same woman for 72 years. To me, that also speaks volumes. And I loved that he would talk about her. We would go visit her at her gravesite. I mean, Fred really honored her. So also the longevity of that marriage, you got to look at that. Fred was, I don't know who he was in his life during that time. Maybe he was a total sleaze. I don't know. But I know how he treated me. And I know how he was with me in the short years that I got to be with him. And it was a gift. He didn't make me feel like an object. He treated me with absolute respect. And that's what matters to me. It's like Tommy. I mean, like he just said, Tommy is a felon, a convict, whatever you want to call him and label. But the fact is, that's what he was, not who he is now. Who he is now is who you're seeing. And it's a person with basically just a heart with eyes. I mean, Tommy is just the most amazing person. People can change. And that's what I believe about Fred. Jeff, not so much. And I don't believe in my heart that Jeff will change. I don't. I think he will continue this path, because I remember years ago saying, when I found out, I said, I'm not going to survive this. I can't stay in a marriage with you. And he said, then I will get divorced. He said, you will not take me away from this. I will never quit. And I said, this is your identity. This is who you are. It's wrong. And he said, you can leave. There's the door. I'm not quitting. So that speaks to who he is.
Mm-hmm. By the way, people, someone put a comment up that said it was probably a miracle. I wanted I would have liked to have punched the guy in the head a couple of times. I'm not going to lie to you. There was a couple of times where he was just super disrespectful, and
That's Tommy.
And it was a super disrespectful situation that was hard to watch. So if you think I'm defending the man, I'm not. But what I'm saying is, it gets really, really easy to become so enraged and so pissed off and so hateful. And I promise you, it's like drinking poison, hoping you're going to kill someone else, right? It's the dumbest concept when we get that angry about a human. There are thousands and thousands of these people across the US, right? That he is the head of the zit because we're looking at it. But the pus that's underneath this thing is just absolutely disgusting and needs to be lanced and drained. And it's so much bigger than him. You know what I mean? It's this stuff, and it happens in so many different organizations. It's not this isn't the only group out there that's being foul by any stretch. It just happens to be the one that messed with the wrong woman, right? That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. It's not, Jilbo. Is it possible that Jeff married you because you took Fred away from them? No way. No way. If you ever heard Jeff on My Lives, he would say Fred gifted her to me.
Which is the most repulsive effing. I'm sorry, man. That's
he told
just
people that all the time.
Repulsive.
Fred gifted her to me. And he told me privately that those guys were so jealous of Fred and they were all waiting for Fred to die so they could get next in line. And that's what happened. I mean, I'm telling you, Fred's funeral, Jeff asked me out.
Can you pop Vicky, California? I'm sorry.
How do the wives protect themselves from sexually transmitted diseases from those that their husbands are jesters?
They're not doing unprotected anything. I promise you. That's not.
Well, Jeff told me the answer to that, and it wasn't condoms. Jeff told me that there are many, many physician jesters, doctors that are jesters. And he said there's a process, and the girls have to bring their papers to every party and show that they were tested and checked out. And he said they show their papers and they rotate the girls and they get checked every single time. That's part of the vetting process of coming to the parties. They sign NDAs. It's a very tightly run ship. It's been around for over 100 years. And that's what Jeff said to me. He goes, you think you're going to make a dent in this? This has been running for over 100 years. You are not going to shake anything down here. And there are very powerful men running it. And he tried to scare me with that.
It's also probably, you have to realize that a bunch of what gets disseminated to wives that say, what the hell, is a pat bullshit answer. I'm not being disrespectful, but what they're going to say is, of course, these women are tested nonstop. The truth of the matter is that I really kind of think that that's probably horseshit in my humble opinion. You'd need to be testing them. First of all, there are venereal diseases you can carry 4 months before you can catch a test on it. And I mean the heavy ones that kill you. You know what I mean? You really, I don't know, man. Also, what it would take, the people that I know in the industry, sex workers, what makes that palatable enough that it really is not destroying your head is that thin membrane of plastic. May sound really stupid, but that skin to skin contact is something that a lot of those people maintain in their head of, I'm not even really doing anything. We're not even touching each other. There's a bag between us. I'd be really shocked if that was the truth. And I don't mean orally because nobody cares, but for sex, I'd be shocked if that wasn't the case. But that's just an opinion from knowing a lot of people that have been in that industry. And that's not a pleasant thing, but
yeah, it's quite the process with these women. I know that. And you should see just the things that we read that were private from Jeff to other jesters. We found hundreds of conversations between Jeff and other jesters and lots of
where it sounded like a couple of farmers talking about, livestock.
Yep.
I'm sure that at some point Reese will in her time you will probably see a lot of those. But if not, then it really should be up to you and what you release and how you release it and when you release it. That's the most important thing in the world for me. But it's your business. I wouldn't even, I tell you my opinion, but I would not try to advise you because this is your trauma. This isn't your story. This is your healing process. This is your trauma. This is heavy shit. It's not just a story. If it was, it'd be a whole lot easier to do. But this is therapy and healing and stuff that, Quib's journals on her channel. Go back and watch from the very first one forward, man. Go back and do yourself a favor and watch how she's worked through every single thing that has happened. How the hell would you think she would do this any differently? Right? That is how you do what you do.
Thank you, Joel. That's so sweet. How did you bring yourself to even look at Jeff after he'd been away to one of his rancid parties, let alone touch him? It was extremely hard, but I was always so relieved when he would get home because I would spend 4 or 5 days being awake, not eating, not sleeping. And of course I would torture him. Like I would yell at him when he got home. He would text me during those parties. Like when he would get back to his hotel room, they're not allowed to have their phones at these parties. But at 1 a.m, when he finally goes home to his hotel room, he would text me. And I would text him back like, fuck you. Don't fucking text me while you're at this thing. I know what you're doing. I don't want to hear from you. I was so angry. And to answer your question, I don't really know other than I would compartmentalize. I would like switch back to, okay, my husband is now home. And I would hold my breath till the next party. And the next party I would have in my phone and ready to go. And I would go to therapy and go, the water's rising. The water's rising. And I would sit there with my therapist and I'd be like, I would rock back and forth, and I would be like, the next party is in 6 weeks and I already can't breathe and I'm having panic attack. Like, I was freaking out. I would every day count down the days to the next party, and I would enjoy Jeff until then, and then I would hate him again. And it was just like this constant, it was so hard for me to switch back to just normal life. And now we're going to be a couple again and go on a date and pretend that everything's cool. And he would come home and say, I don't participate. I'm not involving myself in it. And I would go, there's naked women everywhere. And he'd go, yes, but I'm not doing anything. And I would say this to Jeff. I was a meth head. Okay. I did meth. It's highly addictive stuff. I loved it. Okay. This was over 20 years ago. I would say to Jeff, I used to be an addict. I was a meth head. I went to meth parties, Jeff. Can you imagine if I stayed friends with all those people and said, I'm still going to go to the parties, but I'm not going to do any drugs? Why? Why would you put yourself in that position? Why would you even partake in that? Why would you do it? And he would say, that's not the same thing. You're absolutely crazy. That's not the same thing. You're mixing apples and oranges here. So he would just dumb me down and make me feel stupid about it. But it was hard. It was very, very hard.
You know what, Renee B? I think that's legit.
What?
It says, F me suggesting this, but can we give any grace getting sucked into these kind of things? I believe that you can, especially when a lot of times it's generational. Like, there are people who, like, dad and granddad were jesters, and the kids waiting to 19 to 20 to become one. And you just get this shock of a lifetime if you don't know what this thing is going to be. I think that, but there are also people who seemed to really embrace the lifestyle once they get in. And I think at that point the grace is a great thing, in moderation, maybe. I mean, there's, even in the story he told me, his girl couldn't get over the things he had done in the past. That's his narrative. That's the story he's telling. He can't believe that a divorce is happening, but she just couldn't get over the stuff that happened in the past. So how did she deal with it when he came home? According to him, she never got over the first time. So I would imagine it wasn't particularly pleasant. And I saw another comment. I don't know who it was from because I can't run a mouse to save myself, but it said something along the lines of, if journalists and cops aren't interested in the stories, does that make you nervous? People go to them and say, I'm pretty sure my husband's in a sex cult. And they go, well, what would you like me to do? You want me to follow your husband around for 6 months to see if he's in a sex? I mean, honestly, what do you want us to do? From a law enforcement standpoint, even from a journalist standpoint, what do you want us to do? You want us to follow these people and try to get into this invasive part that you got to have wristbands and you got to have a handshake, and right? No one is showing up with a duffel bag full of emails that show exactly, and I'm not going to tell you what they show, but let me tell you from a convict standpoint that if I were these people, I wouldn't be happy. It would be a bummer to know that and she's not going that route. What she's doing is healing in her own way. But like I said, I've been very nice to everybody that has reached out, because everybody's been nice. The people that I haven't been nice to, well, you're probably not listening to me anyway. You're probably already gone, because there are some people who have been really shitty about it. But I think group hug tax. Well, I love that.
I love you, Joe, and I know this is true.
And you know what, Joe? You know why this triggers Joe, in my humble opinion? Because you're an ace. Because you're a solid cat. And this is very triggering for people that know enough about this and are solid. How could it not? I love you. I love both the viruses.
I do too.
And I know we've missed super chats.
I'm going to go back to them. Yeah. It's, guys, this is just a different, this happened on my channel last night when I was talking about this. I never miss super chats, but I was so, focused on what I was saying to you guys. I knew you understood. I went back and read them at the end, but I don't like to do that typically. What helped you finally leave? Money. I didn't have any money. And like I told you guys last night, Jeff gave me a American Express card, and I would pay for groceries and shopping and things like that. And whenever Jeff would get mad at me, he would punish me. If I would bring up the gestures and bring up what goes on, I would say, I'm going to run to Whole Foods, or I'm going to go to Costco or whatever. And I went to Whole Foods with Huxley once, and I got the groceries, and he tracked my phone. He always kept track. You know this. Jeff tracked everywhere I went at all times. And as soon as I would get to the store, he'd shut the card off. And I would go to pay, and they'd say, your card is declined. And I would come home and ask, and he'd go, well, maybe that'll teach you a lesson to not talk about that anymore. I've asked you not to, and you're violating what I'm asking you to do. So you will be punished until you learn. And he would say that to me. And so what helped me to finally leave? I started a YouTube channel. I saved up as much money as I possibly could. People Venmo'd me, people PayPal'd me, and I saved every damn dime I had of it. And the second I had the money, I went to a divorce attorney and I made a private appointment. And I left my phone. I parked my car blocks away from this divorce attorney. Jeff went to a jester party and I parked my car blocks away and I left my phone in my car so he couldn't track me. And I went in and I hired the guy on the spot. And he said, I need this much money. And I said, done. And I drove to my bank. I got a cashier's check and I handed the guy the money and I got divorced. And that was what I wanted to do. And when I first saw my therapist in person, he said, how's your marriage? And I said, if I could afford to get divorced yesterday, I would have done it. I'm miserable and I fucking hate the man I'm married to. And that's what I did. And my YouTube channel saved me. You guys saved me and I was able to get divorced. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to get divorced. And then I had to move and that cost me $10,000 and you guys came through and helped me. And I saved every penny I had again to get the hell away from there. And I knew I had to leave town. I had to get out of Kansas City. I knew those guys were going to taunt me and torture me. And I knew that I had to get away from the city I was in. And I couldn't tell you guys that. A lot of people were like, why are you leaving? Why are you taking Huxley away from his dad? And I knew I would be in danger being there. I knew it wasn't safe.
And we got out, right?
Tommy came and saved the freaking day because you guys, I couldn't say any of that either. But the reason Tommy was there was not just to help me move. I was terrified. I told him this, that these guys were going to show up at my house and threaten me and say, you talk about this and you're going to be in big trouble. And I told Tommy that. And I'm telling you right now, the guy was on the next flight out. And he got to Kansas City and he said, let them come to this house. I hope they do. I hope they show up here. You let me deal with it. And at that point, I was like, I'm saved. I'm safe. I'm absolutely safe. I've got Fred up here and I've got Tommy right here. I'm safe. And that's exactly how it went. And that's why anybody who doesn't like Tommy, I'm sorry, but you can fuck off into the forever because the guy is a lifesaver and an angel. And if there's a heaven, he's getting in. I promise.
Why, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I would do it again tomorrow. But boy, we'd do it better, wouldn't we? We'd put a lot more in a lot of those boxes that first packed.
What?
We would change how we packed. I think we could have probably done one truck, but I would go back and do it again. And today, you know what? My pain level, I'm probably as good as I've been since all of that. I'm healing. I was really going through it, but I'm doing a lot better. The last couple of days have just been absolutely amazing. I feel an awful lot better.
I feel like this could have been a movie.
Oh, it could have. Even if we could have just done a movie of getting picked up at the airport from there to when we rolled off in the truck. That could have been a movie alone. We wouldn't have needed anything else, and it would have been absolutely freaking bizarre. I don't think you guys would have believed it. I mean, just for the pickup at the airport. Yeah, there's just no way to. So you know what? We'll do that on another show because we could talk about that for 2 days, and if we start on it, we wouldn't even get done. But yeah,
it was amazing, guys. It was an act of God to go from Tommy arriving on Mother's Day to smoothly getting the hell out of there without him getting into trouble, actually doing something. Because I can tell you too, how many times did I have to say, let's just breathe? Because he was like he was so like ready to go because Jeff was baiting in a lot of ways. He was tearing me down. He knew it affected Tommy. And Tommy was like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to teach people life lessons here because you can't treat women that way. And I was able to talk him down and I was like, 2 more weeks, 1 more week, and we're never coming back. Like we can leave here. And it was we were a pretty good team.
I was about to say, it's funny because that's really kind of how it went down. She spent a long, chunk of time saying, calm down. Like, he's just trying to bait you. And I spent a lot of time going, this will all fit. We'll have this all done by Friday. You have nothing to worry about, right? We're well on the way. We're more than halfway. I just told her that we were going to have it packed because I think that you didn't believe we were going to get out of there until probably the day we got out of there.
Yeah, I didn't. And I was scared because you guys, I thought about that today. The jesters are not, I'm sure they're going to try to retaliate in some way. How are they going to try to retaliate? They might try to come after Tommy. They might try to set up Tommy. He's a a convict. You know, it would be easy to make a phone call or say something. Now, the good news is Tommy walks on water. So come after him. I mean, there's nothing he's doing that's illegal. Like there's nothing that you could get him on.
No.
But I wouldn't put it past them trying to try, you know, making an effort.
The good news is this. I honestly, this is the first time in my life since I was probably 16 that I have Fourth Amendment rights. I mean, honestly, as a convict on paper, they can come search your house just because they want to come search your house. They don't need probable cause. They don't need any of those things. However, if you've been with me for any length of time, you remember me lighting a Cuban cigar last July because I became a citizen of the United States again. I'm no longer technically a convict. I'm an ex-convict. So I have Fourth Amendment rights. I have all of those cool things that protect you guys. I'm now protected by. So I got a lot of emails from people who said, well, and I got an email from someone the other day that I should almost read that called me a piece of shit convict. And wait till I call the cops and tell them you dealing drugs. This was from a fan because they were upset at how I was treating Reese, which was funny because we seem to be doing pretty well. But the point is this, go ahead. Right? For the first time in my life, there's literally nothing that I'm doing wrong. Right? Come and try to prove that I'm a bad guy. Because these days, there's just nothing you could prove that I'm doing. And I am a citizen, which is pretty cool. Never thought that would happen. But
he's a citizen.
I have a driver's license. I pay my taxes. Like, there's nothing you can get.
Yeah, you're not going to get him on anything. So, I mean, they may make an effort, but they're not going to get anything. I'm going to read some of these super chats because we kind of got behind on them. And I know exactly where to start.
You do?
Yep. I always pay attention to where we left off, and it is Nancy something.
Fancy Nancy.
Nope.
Or FC Nancy.
FC Nancy.
There
There is where we start. That's what recovery will do for you. And that's true. Thank you, FC Nancy. Hockeytown John. Tommy, I honestly don't give a single shit about the mistakes you've made in the past. You, my friend, personify what it means to be a true man. Your heart is pure, and I am proud to call you a friend.
You know what, John?
I love Hockeytown John.
We were talking about you the other day, and you're just a great person.
We always talk about him. And John Van Beest and Blake Reed.
All of you get brought up. I mean, for real. But we were talking about places we'd like to go, and we really would like to make sure that we come and see you.
Detroit, yeah. Love you both, and love so much how you help us all. I love you, Lisa from Jersey. You've been with us for a long time.
Yep.
Sarah Bowman, I wish there were men like Tommy in the world. Like I have seen many times before. Tommy, you are a blessing to everyone around you.
That is such a kind thing to say, Sarah. And I think, that's a kind thing to say.
Thank you, Jen Nelson. As are you, babe.
Appreciate you, Jen.
Chris Crafts and Coffee. Talk about your trauma and then talk about it some more. And I love your lifeboat pendant. That's so nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love Anne. It would be like any other sensational news. They spin it until the news is done with it and they would move on. This is about Louise. Exactly.
And do you know what, people? Here's the thing. When they go, how do organizations like this stay in business 100 years? Like, how is that possible? Because this puppy has been around for about 25. And the social media thing really, honestly, is so brand new.
It's like Scientology.
They're going to die because of, I promise you, the big red button is going to be what brings that cult down. And the big red button is going to be what brings down all of these organizations that think it's cool to victimize people because you hand them money. And handing a person money doesn't make it okay, right? That even if you go, well, it's a business transaction. She wants to do this. No, there's nobody that, I promise you, there's nobody that it's the desperation that makes that crap happen.
Yes.
And you sell a piece of your soul with every one of those, disgusting people you let lay on you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cindy B. I agree with Tommy. Tell it on your channel so that you can control the narrative. Also, there's 2 Cindy B's on your channel. Wow.
Well, we needed another Cindy B.
Yes,
we can't have enough.
Thank you for your super chat. Billy with an IE. Thank you for becoming a member. You became a member on my channel last night.
And a beautiful kitty.
Baby steps. I hope you are feeling proud of the woman you are and have always been. You had the strength to make it through all you have. Thank you, baby steps. And you are so kind to me always. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I'm catching up, but Tommy, I have more respect for you now, if that's possible. I also respect the restraint you had to move while you were there. Thank you, Jennifer B.
Thank you, Jennifer B.
Tommy isn't the best at, well, laugh it up.
No, you're
Tommy's
right.
strong suit, one of his biggest, most beautiful characteristics is that he is a protector through and through. He may not be a lot of things, but he is a protector. He's very protective. And not just of me, but of women. He wouldn't let anything be going on in his eyesight that was mistreating a woman. So that was hard for him. It took a lot of restraint. It really did.
It was really nice when we left. That's why when someone asked the other day, what was the best moment since the move? I couldn't tell you why it was the best moment since the move, but we could actually say that because someone asked it on this channel. And I said, when we got here and I hugged her and I said, this shit is over. Like, you're not there. The scumbags and all of the people that you left them there, like, you are in a place and we are, I mean, that moment was pretty friggin' special. And it was largely because of the pressure we felt being in that house. It was very, very difficult.
Yes.
But I could not be there. So for all of you that were like, I don't even know why he would be out there. Well, maybe, maybe it makes a little bit more sense now.
Absolutely.
She said, my biggest fear is that these people are going to come here and threaten me once they know that I'm leaving. And okay.
Tommy was like, I'd love for that to happen.
I'll be there. I'm on my way.
He literally was like, I have a flight. I'll be there tonight.
Yeah, we had that conversation at about 8 o'clock or 6 o'clock, and at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, I was there. We did it very, very quickly.
He was like, and hey, while I'm there, I'll help you pack.
Yeah, I'm going to help you pack. Tell them I'm there to help you pack stuff up.
Reese, maybe the depths of your story needs to be told in an autobiography. It would be a bestseller, and it could really set you up financially for your future. Just some to think about. Love you. I need a card. Thank you. Maybe. I don't know, guys. I don't ever think in terms of that.
I think you got an autobiography in you. I really do. It's such an incredible story. You've overcome so much stuff. I think you have an autobiography in you. I believe that.
Thank you, Joe. We read that one. Thank you, Joe.
I love you, Joe Virus.
I do too. Kristen Melinda, showing your healing journey helps others heal too. You've said that, and I appreciate that so much, Kristen.
I got the coolest messenger from Kristen Melinda. That talk about someone that's gone a long way in a year. I love you, Kristen Melinda. I really do.
I do too. Fantastic. She's a really cool lady.
Yeah, tough.
Ditto to Joe's group hug text. Robin Miners, thank you. And I got your card in the mail. Thank you for sending that, Robin. You're so sweet. She's such a friend.
Yep.
SMSP, hug bandwagon text. Thank you, guys.
How come I can't say that name?
I don't know, but I love her. Elena Rainerman, group hug text. You two are pure love. Thank you, Elena. And I love Elena. She's such a friend. Hey, I haven't seen you for a minute. Better together. I believe you. I sent you a message. I think I had in the middle of one of those parties on my vacation recently, and the vibes kept me in my room in paradise. Wow.
Creepy. Yep.
Okay, I'll have to look at your message. Thank you for your super chat. Sarah, Tommy, I could not possibly love you more. Thank you for being at Reese's side. That's what I'm telling you guys. He's incredible. If you don't like Tommy Scoville, get the hell out. Kim, I have family in multiple generations in the Masons and the Shriners. They do not talk about the jesters, but the wives are all in.
Ouch.
That was weird.
That was my toe.
Tommy stubbed his toe.
Oh, boy, did I stub my toe.
Guys, can you hear us?
They should be able to. It says live. We can see them, so.
Some jester cut their Wi-Fi. Some joker. Guys.
Oh, wow.
Are you all right, honey?
Yes. I'm good. I hate stubbing my toe.
Okay,
I'd rather
they
get
hear
punched
us.
in the
Everybody
face.
hears us. We don't know what happened. I clicked on Kim's super chat and I was going to answer her, and all of a sudden it said no internet. I don't know.
So I have family, multiple.
Well, hold on. I want to specify here, guys. I'm glad you stuck around. Thank you for waiting. And then we will hop off so Tommy can go live. But just because, Joe is still in here.
Good.
Just because you've met a Shriner there's a little chance they're a jester. I have gone to big roomfuls of Shriner parties, and I've gone to like 200 people, Shriner parties. 3 of them are jesters. Shriner doesn't equate jester. Now, you have to be a Shriner in order to be a jester. That's true. In order to be a jester, you have to be a Shriner in good standing. But that doesn't mean that, just so you guys know.
And I started, so someone asked earlier and we didn't address it because, you guys fly by here, but someone asked, when did I find out about this? Before we were romantically involved in any way. Quibs opened up about what was going on.
And I shared this with hardly anybody. And I barely knew you. I didn't give every detail, but I just told him.
Not at all.
It was like I just trusted him right away. And I remember Tommy saying to me, I was like, I'm scared. Please don't tell anybody. I was terrified after I told him. And he said, kid, I'm a convict. He's like, we take that very seriously.
Yeah, that not
when
telling
you've been in
stuff.
prison, like, keeping your mouth shut is a big deal. And I felt so much better when he told me that.
Yeah, we don't, even if the person, you get stabbed and they say, who did it? You go, I don't know. I mean, that's what you have to say in there. And then I got a lot more details, obviously, when I got out to Kansas City. But here's something that I think is kind of, once she talked about it the first time, I went out and deep dived this thing ad nauseum. You have no idea how much time and effort I put into reading about these organizations. And the heyday of all of this BS was really just before World War II and just after World War II. At that point, it seemed like everybody who had any kind of secret society was really into this. And they kind of got the memo that as time started to change, a lot of the stupid things that men did aren't done anymore. And it seems, honestly, and I'm not just picking on, but this seems to be a bit of a holdout. Even the people who are in the other organizations tend to hate these cats because they have not in any way, shape, or form seemed to have grown up. And honestly, that kind of seems like if you take the time to deep dive this, you're going to come across the same kind of stuff I came across. And you're going to read articles from people who are not, by the way, involved in this. They're just journalists who will say they just seem to be the ones that didn't stop. It seems like, the Shriners kind of cleaned up their act, and they weren't known necessarily for that, but they were known for really being partiers. Those guys could drink.
Yeah, Shriners are partiers.
They're partiers.
Big time. That's true. It's true.
Yeah. Food for thought. They're tax exempt.
They are tax exempt.
Sound familiar?
It's really fucked up. They are tax exempt. Oh, I probably just demonetized us because I forgot we started a new stream. Sorry.
We really didn't. We're still an hour and 33 minutes in. It's not a new stream.
Oh,
yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool.
Potty mouth.
Nice. What does he say? It's Austin Powers. Nice potty mouth, dirtbag.
Yeah.
You guys are so perfect for each other. So glad to catch a live again. Love you both. Thank you, Joanne.
That's a nice thing to say.
Thank you for your super chat. Shauna B, you two are awesome. Wishing you too much love.
Thank you, Shauna B.
So nice. Look at this.
Jen Nelson.
Hey, Jen. Here's to the future. Wow. Thank you.
Jen.
Thank you, Jen. That's a huge super chat. Thank you. And guys, big or small, it's very kind. Bo Beats. So happy I was wrong. You make a great team. Thank you, Bo Beats.
That's a really
I love
kind
you,
thing
girl.
to say. It's never easy
I've
to say
always liked Bo Beats. Blakey, Tommy, you have done so much for all of us. You are a man that has paid his dues and continues to do so in more ways than one, through pain, through giving, through helping. It's endless. Thank you for everything you've done.
You know what, Blake? You are one of the kindest people I've ever met. I couldn't love you anymore if I tried.
He's absolutely right. Blakey, I love you. And thank
Blake,
you.
You're just so kind.
Thank you, Nuts and Board. It's good to see you. Zeno and the Body Thetans. When did you discuss everything about the jester? It started on my channel and it was titled Never an Honest Word. Kim is blue. Reese, you're a badass, and thank you, Tommy, for being there for her. Thank you.
She also wrote on one of her comments, boy, Ben Lomond's in trouble. when our screen went black, I said, we're going for Ben.
As I say, that dude, it's underground.
Yeah, no, that's the funny thing is it is fiber optic. But
as I say, Ben Lomond lays the pipe almost as good as you do.
Well,
laying cable.
Here's the thing, though. Even though it's fiber optic, it still has to broadcast from there to the computer, and that's where right? It's fiber optic coming in, but we still have to get to the tower, and sometimes
better not happen again.
It shouldn't.
Ben's gonna pay.
Yeah.
Angie Mo, have you missed your house in KC? I haven't even thought about it. I'm so much happier here.
I don't think that's
not at all.
Come up.
Bo Beats, thank you for becoming a member, babe. Katie Fulton, God, I can't wait to meet y'all. Squeeze my Reese. I love Katie and her boobs. I love you, Katie. Thank you again, Bo. West Coast Fancy Nancy, sweet freedom. Yes, girl. Yes, and it feels so good. Amy Edge, Tommy, you're a class act and you make my friend happy.
Oh, thank you, Amy. That's a kind thing to
Amy,
say.
I love you, girl. Alex
so
Moore, thanks for becoming a member.
Looking good and green.
Matt's mom forever. I love her. Tommy, you personify what it means to be a real man. You changed your life and have helped so many through your journey. Your post does not define you.
Yeah, my
God
past.
bless.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank you, Matt's mom. Yeah,
kind.
I know you're going to go live. And Reese, you have an autobiography. You do have an autobiography. There are people who can help you with it too. Okay, I never thought about it, but thank you, Ann. And thank you, LA Chameleon. Hockey Town John. Tom Meredith wants to know who you'd want to play you in a movie adaptation of your life. I've always said like maybe Reese Witherspoon. Oh, geez. Melissa McCarthy.
Okay. All right, now we're done.
All right. Chris Crafts and Coffee. Can Jeff now get kicked out? I mean, I don't know the bylaws there, but probably not.
May I comment on that? Just to give you my humble opinion. So I have I hung out with bad people that broke the law, but it was kind of in an organized fashion, right? And it's a very difficult thing to kick somebody out, isn't it? Right? I mean, you kick this cat out and make him angry. You talk about a dude that's got receipts, right? I think you really got to mess up to be excommunicated from an organization that you have that much dirt on. Those kind of groups will control you and make you feel like a loser and restrict the fun you can have and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think they're kicking a lot of people out.
Well, I think they have dirt on Jeff, though. It's like Jeff Epstein, I feel like. So they could kick him out and say, go ahead and talk. We've got stuff on you, too. Correct. I don't know, but I don't know the answer to that, but I would guess.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in forever. Skipper the geriatric chihuahua. Oh, Reese, love you two together. Thank you. Good to see you, Skipper. Oh, I love Ben Bacon.
I do too.
Thank you, Ben.
Only cat with bigger hands than me.
I find that I wonder how he lays the pipe.
I'll let you ask him.
Because to be quite honest, these are pipes also, if you can imagine. Wishing you all the best. You compliment each other. What is it called? A sting?
Oh, for the love of God. That's it. And on that note, it has been fantastic.
I learned that the other day. I haven't experienced it. We just saw it in a movie.
It was in a movie, no joke. And it wasn't that kind of movie. They were making a reference to it in the movie. Would you please?
They were making references, guys.
Yeah. Would you please? Oh, you're so bad.
Wishing you all the best. You compliment each other so well. They're adults. Our thing says
we're not, but apparently everyone else
for
says.
Children.
Yeah, apparently everybody else.
Thank you for your super chat, Cindy. Fred sent you, Tommy, to save you, Reese. Yes, he did. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. Yeah, I kept the receipts. Don't worry about that.
Oh boy, does she have the receipts? Or as the kids say, she's got the tea.
Oh yeah, the kids do say that.
That's what they say.
What is it?
She's bringing the tea. Truth.
The truth.
Yeah.
These kids these days.
Debbie Zito says, shocker, blushing Tommy. Well, it's kind of Reese's go-to. Reese is never happy unless I have a slight red tinge.
Also 39 and that I'm my,
Do you want to hear really cool?
I'm pretty, I like to get down.
I'm going to be able to claim that I'm even 1 year older than you are.
Yeah.
Right.
So Tommy turns 54 in 3 days. And in 1 week, I turn 40. But for those few days in between the two of our birthdays,
she's not quite as younger.
He'll be 15 years older.
She's not quite as younger. So we're coming up on
everybody's
birthdays.
Asking you to do it.
Damn.
So good. I love it when he says it, you guys.
And I know, by the way, everybody has reached out to me to tell me how it's properly pronounced. And I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that they've not been
not anymore
properly.
Now it's
not,
damn.
Yeah, damn. That's how it is supposed to be said. I promise.
Oh, I love that. Lisa's daughter has the same birthday.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
I'll
And
be
we're
darned.
15 years
You do
apart.
not look like you could have a 25-year-old daughter.
No,
Good
she doesn't.
Lord in
Lisa
heaven.
from Jersey is hot.
What the heck?
Can we, before we go, Jamie Palmer, she's, oh, do we have a P.O. box? Yeah, mods, can you put the P.O. box up, please? Thank you. Jamie Palmer needs it because she does a lot for us.
Jamie Palmer needs.
Oh, I look like Bonnie Hunt. I love that. Oh, I sound like Bonnie Hunt. I love her voice.
Oh, I like Bonnie Hunt.
I do too.
I like Bonnie Hunt could play, yeah.
I love Bonnie Hunt.
Well, she's getting a little old to play.
That's
you,
okay.
But
I like her. Reese sang that song. What song?
I'm not very smart.
I don't know, but we need to do for Jamie Palmer.
Alrighty.
Question, Tommy, what watch are you wearing?
This is called a Legionnaire 421. It's made by a company called Elgin. And it was made in 1929.
Thank you for your super chat. The receipts are in many safe places.
Oh, they
encrypted places. Don't worry.
There's no.
And if something were to happen to me, it would spread like wildfire. So don't worry. Don't worry.
We've been intelligent.
Yeah.
Misbehaving.
We've even talked to attorneys about it. Okay, so it's just a little tiny bit of Tourette's.
Sure, I can do
okay,
that.
you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, start. Oh, hi.
I'm with the woman in the black shirt. I have no money. You need to leave me alone.
Wait, you got to toss in a damn. Hold on. Let's try it again.
Okay.
Oh, my boobs are just.
Damn. I'm with the woman in the black. I have no money.
Wait. But
I'm happy.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
Happily married. Happily married.
When I say my boobs are just so big, you can't go damn because that's.
Well, you asked me to work a damn in, so I could. Okay, try again.
Say damn.
I got it.
Say like damn, girl.
No, I got it.
My boobs are just so.
I'm gonna have to ask you to put your damn tits away. I'm married. I have no money. I'm happy.
Your tits go inside your shirt.
That's
I'm
right.
happy.
That's right.
Put your tits away.
Your bra is supposed to be on the inside. So are your tits. Damn. I'm happy. Leave me alone.
I love him so much, you guys. It's so funny. He's so good.
I'm happy while the rocking of distress is meant to run everybody off. They're not sure if you're quite there, but I am.
What twangy song, Skipper? You don't have to pay to tell.
It was Misbehaving. That's the one they're talking about. You're misbehaving.
Aww.
You're misbehaving, you song.
Misbehaving. Mama
That's the
said
one.
not to, but I did it anyway. Misbehaving. I wash my hands to keep away from Satan.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
I had to.
Yes, you did.
I love her. Thank you. Late fees on friend tax. Thank you, Better Together. Love you, girl.
Always better late than never.
That's it. Okay, I did it for you, Skipper. All right, guys.
There you go.
We're going to go because he's going to do a lifeboat. And I'm probably going to go get into some sort of sugary treat.
Kristen Wiig could actually pull it off. I could see her doing it. I could see that.
I love Kristen Wiig. Maybe Amy Poehler.
Well, but Kristen Wiig does drama and does it really, really well.
She does. She's a great actress.
Yeah,
actually.
she is.
I would love her to play me.
How about the one from Best in Show?
Jennifer. Oh my God. Why can't I think of her last name?
Because it's not important.
We both love soup. We could talk or not talk for hours.
About anything all day and then never
God,
run
I
out
love
of things
her.
to
Why can't I think of her last name?
Never run out of things to not talk
Stifler's
about.
mom.
Stifler's mom, Coolidge.
I love Jennifer Coolidge.
I think Jennifer Coolidge could play you. And probably
I would like to be her friend in real life.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. You were a little overly excited about that.
No, I just wanted to
I thought you were happy.
Oh,
Damn.
I'm happy I'm married. No, I just want to say I met Stifler's mom. I mean, that's one of those things that you could drop in a conversation. When someone says, I love that movie, I say, I met Stifler's mom.
Okay.
Yeah. She's way too old for me. I like my girls a little bit younger. Hey, settle down.
All right. I love you guys, but I really love him too.
Chat knows stuff. Don't say other words. All right.
Don't be saying other words. All right, guys, hop over to the Lifeboat. Make sure you're subscribed on this if you want to be. Don't be lurking all the time. Subscribe. And I love you guys. And guess what? Come over to my channel too. I hit 21,000 today. Woo! So come over and subscribe and I'll be on tomorrow. So tune in. You don't know what you're going to get, do you? Because I don't even know what I'm going to say. I never know. I hit go and there's no script. There's no net. And sometimes this gets me into some trubs.
No.
Every once in a while.
No.
I don't care.
I would
Kinda like
never.
this morning.
I don't believe
No.
that. I don't want to. I don't believe that's the case.
It's going to happen again and again. So I
Alrighty.
won't even be apologizing.
Now I'm going to
for
stand
it.
up because if I don't, Quibs will just keep talking until tomorrow comes by. Honestly.
Bye. Love you guys. Oh, Skipper, thanks for being a member. On that note, we're going to go. And Cutie.
Set up the next one.
Cute jammies.
Thank you.
All right. He's cute, you guys. He's really cute. Hockeytown John, uncancelable Reese. I like it. Jimena, love you, girl. Okay, I'm going to go. I'll be on my channel tomorrow. Don't F around. Stop over. Come see me. And subscribe. Okay, thanks for the super chats tonight. That was so kind. I love you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye, Joe. Bye, everybody.